What type of pressure does that put on the offense to have to continue to keep up with Ole Miss?
I mean, you don't really think about that. You just really focus on, the task at hand. You take it one play at a time. And I thought our offensive line did a good job for me and Robbie. Robbie again, took the workload, and I'm much appreciated of that.
Derek, when the game changed, you were only on the field for 3 plays, I think. They kind of played keep away with you. How frustrating is that to sit on the sideline as they're coming back?
Oh, yeah, that's, just as a competitor, you just want to be on the field. And that goes along with anybody, if we were on the field that long, I know Noxie would, be licking his chops, just to get back out on the field because he's a competitor. And, when you want to win so bad, we got 100 dudes in that locker room right now that want to win so bad. When you come up short, it's just tough.
You want to score every possession. Did you feel at the end you kind of had to score at every possession because they were clicking on offense just like you guys?
I mean, you always want to score. I mean, that'd be silly to say, a 3 and out's okay here and there. That just sounds silly. Every time you get the ball, you feel like you have to score. And that's no matter what the game situation is. Every time the ball's in your hands, as a competitor and wanting to win, you think you should score every time.
Thoughts on Boise?
We got to rally up. We got to stay together. We got that's me, Noxie, Rouse. That's our job to make sure the players are ready this week. As leaders of this football team, we just got to rally around these guys. Everybody's got to come together, and we're going to play hard. You guys, you know that. We're going to go out there and play as hard as we can.
The fact that it was you guys had a chance to beat an SEC team here. How much is that frustrating to miss out on that opportunity?
Of course, it's frustrating. We lost. You always want to win, no matter who it is, whether it's Cal, Nebraska, or these guys. It doesn't matter who it is. You want to win the game, and just to come up with a loss is frustrating. It's really frustrating. But hey, what can you do about it? You got to move on.
Derek, anything you take back on the last drive?
No, I think we did a good job. And Coach Hill did a good job of knowing the situation. That was awesome by him to know that that we could get a field goal right there. Hopefully get the onside and then go back with our 4 receiver set. Hopefully go down the field.
The play where you changed it to a run to the right to Robbie for the touchdown there. What was it? What did you see then? And
they had nobody. They had 2 guys on the right of the center, and I really thought it was just going to go. They had just 2 down linemen. Both linebackers were behind on this side of the center, so I decided, at the time, that's my call. I mean, good or bad, I'll take the blame for it. But at the time, I really thought that was going to go, and there was a crease there. But without seeing on film, whatever. It's my fault. I probably should have thrown the ball there.
Are you talking about?
No, I'm talking about the
game, right?
Yeah.
Was that an audible too that you called on Robbie's touchdown in the 3rd quarter?
Yeah, that was audible. That's on Coach Frazier though for making that adjustment, and him preparing me, to make that check. He told me right before we went on that series that if they get in this defense, audible to this, and we went out there. Sure enough, they got in it, and we audible to it, and Rouse did a good job getting in.
Did you feel like at that point, the game was you guys, you had, taking the lead at that point?
I mean, of course, there's not a time in a game where you don't think you should win or score on offense. I don't have a defensive mindset, but as an offensive player, every time you get the ball, like I said before, you think you should score, and if you don't, we got to do something right. We got to do something better.
What did Coach not say to you after the game? Obviously, some respect there afterwards.
Yeah, I mean, you got to talk to him about that. That's his business, what he said. He said some nice things, though. I was very honored about the things that he was saying to me.
Guys, it's the